11 sparkling minutes. That's all it took. On April 14th of this year, a Blue Origin New Shepard rocket ripped through a powder blue West Texas sky and kissed the edge of forever. Inside the capsule floated 6 famous women: billion-dollar helicopter pilot Lauren Sánchez, pop icon Katy Perry, legendary anchor Gayle King, aerospace prodigy Aisha Bowe, Nobel-nominated activist Amanda Nguyễn, and venture capitalist Kerianne Flynn. They twirled in weightlessness, snapped selfies against the planet's curve, and even coaxed Katy into a breathy rendition of "What a Wonderful World." But the instant their boots tapped desert dust, celebration morphed into a social media firestorm. Hashtags flipped from dark her story to dark tone deaf faster than the capsule's retro thrusters, and a rocket meant to symbolize progress became Exhibit A in the internet's favorite dystopian meme. How did a flight trumpeted as a leap for womankind end up branded as a billionaire joyride? Buckle up, because the real turbulence began after landing. Blue Origin labeled the hop NS-31, its 11th human mission and the first ever with an all-female crew. The ride was fully autonomous, no pilot, just passengers, arcing 105 kilometers past the Kármán line before parachuting home in exactly 11 minutes, 14 seconds. Official prices for New Shepard seats run US $150,000 to $500,000. Insiders whisper this flight's final bill, once you fold in rocket refurbishment, global TV rights, and a velvet rope press pen that looked like a mini Coachella, nudged $22 million. Pop culture royalty turned the launch pad into a red carpet. Oprah, Kris Jenner, and Khloe Kardashian live-streamed every second. Cameras captured Katy Perry clutching a single daisy for her daughter and promising viewers she'd sing for the whole planet. At first glance, it played like the ultimate feel-good headline, until people started doing the math. And that's when the ground started to shake, figuratively at least. But money wasn't the only number critics hated. The official mission patch showed rose gold wings hugging a Venus symbol. Blue Origin's copywriters gushed about shattering glass ceilings in zero-G. Press kit quotes dripped with empowerment buzzwords: historic, trailblazers, representation. Yet none of the women were conducting major research for NASA, and seasoned astronauts quietly noted that Sally Ride, Mae Jemison, and Sunita Williams have logged months in orbit. So who exactly was breaking which ceiling? Guardian columnist Moira Donegan slammed the optics as girlish silliness posing as progress. TikTok analysts called it pink-washed capitalism, arguing that a true feminist milestone would have included, say, a Syrian refugee engineer or a Zimbabwean chemist, someone chosen by open application, not celebrity Rolodex. Lauren Sánchez's fiancé, Jeff Bezos, still owned the rocket, the launch site, and, conveniently, several of the media outlets breathlessly streaming the countdown. Critics began to suspect the flight was less for women and more for brand Bezos. And if the empowerment narrative was wobbling, the environmental ledger hit it like a sledgehammer. Each New Shepard launch burns liquid hydrogen and oxygen. Cleaner than kerosene, sure, but hardly invisible. A 2022 study in Earth's future pegged modern space tourism rockets at roughly 75 metric tons of CO2 equivalent per suborbital flight and warned of black soot particles 500 times more potent at trapping heat than ground-level emissions. Multiply that by the burst of space tourism dreams on every billionaire's vision board, and the climate math looks grim. Environmental watchdogs rushed out infographics comparing the crew's 11-minute selfie session to the annual energy footprint of 40 U.S. households. The hashtag number sign emissions for egos trended on X within hours. One viral meme split-screened Katy's zero-G twirl with collapsing Arctic ice, captioned, "Zero gravity for them, heavy gravity for the rest of us." Even loyal Perry stans struggled to clap back at that, but numbers don't go viral on their own. People do. And the backlash's loudest voice arrived wearing a scowl and holding a phone. Model activist Emily Ratajkowski fired the opening salvo from her kitchen counter. This is parody. The 90-second rant hit 7 million views by lunch and birthed 1,000 duets. Actress Olivia Munn mocked the mission live on Today with Jenna. Space travel used to help humankind. This looks like a diamond-studded Uber. Olivia Wilde shared a photo of Katy kissing the ground, adding the caption, $1 billion bought some good memes, I guess. Even fast food chain Wendy's got spicy, tweeting a photo of the rocket beside its famous Frosty with the line, One of these is still attainable. Comment sections erupted. Privilege accomplishment, rich-splaining feminism. I love Gayle King, but I'd rather see lab coat engineers than red carpet A-listers. Vanity Fair noted the unusual unity of left-wing activists and fiscal conservatives. Both camps saw waste, just for different reasons. The backlash crescendoed when Katy's own fans compiled a supercut of her past climate justice speeches against footage of the rocket roaring skyward. Ouch. Yet while TikTok dunked, Washington reached for its rulebook. Under FAA guidelines, commercial astronaut wings ceased in 2022, but the agency still defines an astronaut as someone who performs activities essential to public safety. New Shepard is fully automated, meaning the 6 women technically sat back and enjoyed the ride. U.S. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy pounced. Brave and glam? Yes. Astronauts? No. His statement detonated across cable news, giving critics new ammo. Blue Origin hustled out Velvet Box Explorer badges to pacify the terminological tussle. Think participation trophy, but shinier. That ceremony streamed live on Instagram and backfired. Viewers spammed red flag emojis while pundits joked that Bezos had invented the $22 million frequent flyer card. Gayle King later told CBS Mornings she was not letting haters steal my joy, but by then the narrative had escaped orbit. And behind the scenes, a different drama brewed, one involving NDAs, streaming rights, and a pop star's second thoughts. Entertainment insiders leaked that Lauren Sánchez's production company filmed every training montage, with pitches already circulating at 2 major streamers for a docuseries called Women Above the World. If seats normally cost $500,000, were some comped for on-camera buzz? No comment from Blue Origin. Rumor sites claimed Katy Perry planned a zero-G music video until backlash spooked her label. The Independent later reported she regrets the public spectacle. Meanwhile, People magazine ran a feature on Gayle King's disappointment at critics. Amanda Nguyễn and Aisha Bowe tried to highlight small zero-G experiments they'd packed, fluid dynamics, bone density sensors, but NDAs blocked them from sharing raw data. To skeptics, it looked less like science, more like storyline control. Even optimistic viewers wondered why genuine female astronauts weren't offered those seats first. Which circles back to the big, uneasy question. Consultancies forecast space tourism revenue hitting US $8 billion a year by 2030. Advocates say private flights will eventually fund orbital labs, carbon-scrubbing satellites, maybe even lunar solar farms. Critics counter that off-world joyrides feel more like a gilded lifeboat for the wealthy, while the rest of humanity battles rent hikes and record heat waves. Climate scientists warn that if launch rates accelerate unchecked, soot could punch fresh holes in the ozone by decade's end. That dystopian picture, sky-high tickets, literal atmospheric damage, and selfie stick smiles haunts every meme and op-ed. As one viral ex-post sighed, when the planet starts coughing, the 1% have already booked window seats. Hard to blame ordinary folks for cringing. So after all the glitz, drag, and drag coefficients, where does it leave us? Blue Origin's NS-31 accomplished one undisputed feat. It forced millions of people to argue, passionately, about who deserves to go to space, what counts as progress, and how we balance wonder against warming. Seeing 6 women float against the cosmic black is undeniably powerful. Yet symbolism untethered from accessibility tends to drift, weightless, into the realm of spectacle. If a mission's loudest legacy is memes comparing ticket prices to school lunch budgets, something went sideways. The next rocket-carrying celebrities will face a fiercer spotlight on emissions, on cost, on the fine print of those shiny astronaut badges. Maybe private spaceflight can evolve into a platform that uplifts all of us. Maybe it stalls as a velvet-roped carnival ride. Either way, the countdown has begun, and the public now knows exactly how loud its collective side-eye can roar.